I work in data science. Within data science, we often take a look at how different sets of data correlate. The simplest form of this is called the Pearson correlation coefficient. The fancy formula for this is this. This helps us understand roughly how well data lines up. For example, if the data has a 0.9 correlation coefficient, it would look like this. If it were closer to 0, it would look something like this. In data science, there is a phenomenon known as spurious correlations. This is when two sets of data have relatively high correlation coefficients, about 0.75 and above, but the two sets are not theoretically connected at all. Taking a look at this website, we see that there are a ton of examples of these. One of them here is the per capita cheese consumption versus the number of people who died by getting tangled in their bed sheets. Pretty interesting, right? And there's a couple more on this website. There's one including Nicolas Cage if you want to go check it out. However, the goal of this video is not to just look at these and say, haha, data go brr. No, our goal, our aspirations, are much higher. I aim to find spurious correlations between Google search trends and the stock market, and use those correlations to make us some money. More specifically, we will look for data that correlates in response to a time shift. Essentially, this means that if we see a spike in the Google data, for example, if we search the word toxic and we see a spike, then we might see a spike in the stocks for Tesla a week later. The first thing that we need to do is to find what stocks that we're going to track. Now, I'm not a financial expert and I know nothing about technical analysis. However, I do know that if we want to make more money, we got to find volatile stocks. These stocks jump up and down all over the place. Since I'm hoping to finish the project within a month, or at least relatively soon, we want stocks that will jump around. After a cursory Google search, I have come up with these 5. However, I'm not just interested in the volatile ones. I'm also curious in the more famous ones. So I looked at the top 5 most popular on the platform I use, and I found these. Therefore, these are the 10 stocks that we will be investing in and trying to make money from. Our next step is to find out how to get the Google Trend data. I'm going to use a Python module called PyTrends that I'll use to get the data from Google. However, this module is pretty limited. I can't ask for more than 5 search terms at a time. Fortunately, I built my own custom function to let us do pretty much anything we want, including multiple keywords. Now, what words should we use? Well, why not just use random words? I installed another module called Random Word, and using this, I can use a while loop and basically just continue to generate a single random word every time and pull its data from Google. Once I get the search term data from Google, all that's left is to get the correlation with the stock data. We could just, use np.corrcoef or the NumPy correlation coefficient function, but that would only get us the concurrent correlation. While it would be cool to find something like that, it wouldn't really help us predict when the stock goes up or down. We only know that the data lines up really well with the specific search. In order to get the time lag correlation or the time shift correlation, we're going to use a Python module called stats models and use the built-in CCF function. This will shift the data a day at a time and return the correlation coefficient based on that shifted data. Using this, we just run through the first 30 coefficients, meaning we can check and predict within a month when it will change, and check if any of the correlation coefficients are above 0.95. This will give us an optimally correlated search term, which we can then use to predict future stock prices within a month. Now, I coded all this and ran it. This is where I ran into a problem. I don't want to sit here and wait for it to continuously run on my laptop, or even worse, my gaming PC. So, luckily I had an old computer lying around. I set it up to be an Ubuntu server, and the program is running as we speak. Now, I wish this video had a satisfying end, but as it will take a while for this to run, I had to split it into 2 parts. Once I find some good correlations, then I'll build a bot to invest in the stock market based on the Google data that we have, which will be part 2. If you have any questions about the code or the process, please ask away in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and be sure to subscribe if you want to watch more videos like this. Bye!